murdering and kidnapping the barbarians has finally forced them to throw in the final straw. In the early morning at 4 a.m., there is an invasion from the savage barbarians. Look, the barbarians are attacking now. They are carrying the battering rams and will try to knock down your gates. One of the barbarians, the savage warrior, has ran very fast through the sticky traps. Maybe he has a special perk which enable him to run fast or ignore such traps. During the scouting phase, we have to defeat the scouting spy party and deter the spy in order to obtain invasion intelligence. However, we have missed the window to gather enemy intelligence. Nevertheless, this base is built on a plateau with only one way up. A man-made bridge setup with traps such as the steel traps and the iron pegboards. Therefore, a choke point is set up. The front is guarded by 4 crossbow towers and loaded with iron bolts. Some iron pegboards are built at the bottom of the stairs leading to the bridge, so the barbarians will take some damage before coming up. Once they step on the sticky trap, their movement will be slowed, and this allows the crossbow towers to take them out. The blind spots are covered with iron pegboards. Watch out for barbarians holding the battering ram. Take them out before they knock the gate down. The barbarians will attack in a few waves. It will be great to know the number of enemies. In Sun Tzu's The Art of War, he emphasizes the importance of understanding both oneself and the enemy. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. The enemies seem to be around level 40. It is lucky that it is not the nearby Flint tribe who is attacking. Their levels are around 50 and a large number of them will be a problem. The iron pegboards will need to upgrade to steel pegboards to cause them more damage in the shortest time. Crossbow tower bolts will need to change to steel bolts for the maximum and fastest damage. Anti-climb spikes can be built on both sides of the bridge fences to cause some damage. Other traps include roadblocks, arrow traps, combustion traps and explosive can traps. It will be a good idea to extend the bridge left and right, and more traps can be deployed along the bridge to cause damage before they reach the gate. A few days ago, I have seen the Flint tribe barrack scouting party, and they are equipped with poison arrows and a war elephant are there. Therefore, it is important to first take out the barbarians with the battering ram and then the archers. You will not want their fighters to be inside your base as they are harder to take out. If you have noticed, there are already a few barbarians holding the battering ram. If there are short breaks in the invasion, it will be a good idea to check that the crossbow towers are not running out of bolts and the users are equipped with bandages. As you can see, the enemy's archers can shoot back at tribespeople manning the crossbow towers. The invasion location will be marked on your map, and once they breach the gates, they will go for your bonfire. Once the gate is breached, the barbarians may also go for your crossbow towers, so we have to make sure that the tribespeople manning the towers are protected. Doors and traps can be deployed to make sure that they don't reach the towers. According to Sun Tzu's Art of War, if you are there before the enemy, you should occupy the high and sunny spot and wait for the enemy to come up. A high place is not only good for fighting but also safe from floods. In many war movies, you can see generals weakening a much stronger enemy by archers and traps from a much higher ground before engaging the rest with close combat melee weapons. While waiting for the next wave, we can check the fever level of the base by building and placing the patrol route checkpoint. Besides assigning patrol routes to tribespeople, you can check the fever level of each area designated in red squares. Any activities will slowly increase the fever level, and it does not need to be 100% to trigger the invasion. This means a higher chance for an invasion to occur. Defense and traps should always be built first, since it will take a lot of time for design, construction, and building of traps and building pieces, as well as maintenance materials for damaged traps. Always upgrade your traps to the highest level available to you. As you can see earlier, the normal barbarians will be affected by the sticky traps. However, the savage barbarians will just ignore the sticky traps and run very fast towards your gate. Therefore, it is important to upgrade traps to the highest technology available. For example, changing sticky traps for pegboards and upgrading bronze pegboards to iron and then steel for best defense. Once they get inside base, they will start to kill tribespeople, loot and destroy your base. Another important thing to note is always ensure that your tribespeople are using the best available weapons and armor. There will be no time to craft and equip every tribesperson once war has been declared. Bandages, health potions and creams, anti-poison potions, status dissipation soups should be prepared early. Every tribesperson, especially the fighters, should be well trained in the arts of fighting. Training of 10 years is to prepare for that moment of war. This is the last wave of the invasion. The enemy is somehow trapped between the fence and the gate. Anti-climb spikes can be built over the fences to direct the enemy as well as causing them some damage. Tactically placed arrow traps and pedals along the bridge can cause damage to the enemies. Continue watching for the last battle of the invasion. All traps will be shown and explained later in this video. Last part of the video will be a showcase of the upgraded base traps. Next we are going to talk about traps in Soulmask. As you can see in front in the nearest row of traps are the sticky trap and different tiers of pegboards. Only the pegboards can be upgraded, from bronze to iron then to steel. The difference in the different tiers are damage and durability. Durability for sticky trap is 1000, whereas the pegboard is an increment of 1500 per tier. It is recommended to quickly change the sticky traps to pegboards, as you can see earlier in the video that certain class of barbarians can just ignore the sticky traps and dash through. The second row of traps are the anti-climb thorns, upgradable from wooden to bronze to iron and lastly steel. These can be standalone or place over fences for defense. Once enemies are near these types of traps, they will take damage and they don't take up much space. Durability is an increment of 1200 per tier. In this third row of traps are the ground spike and different tiers of roadblocks. As you can see, the ground spike durability is only 200. Ground spike cannot be upgraded. On the other hand, roadblocks can be upgraded from wooden to bronze to iron to steel. The higher the tier, the higher the damage and durability. Durability is an increment of 1000 per tier. In this fourth row are the valve traps. Their appearance are the same as the corresponding floors and can be disguised as normal floor. One would fall when step on it and mostly used for self-built trap rooms. This is great for base defense in PvP. The valve traps are upgradable from wooden to stone to black stone. Durability is an increment of 1000 per tier. Next we are going to talk about arrow trap and the trap pedal. These two work hand in hand. Simply place the trap pedal where you will expect the enemy and connect the trap pedal to the arrow trap. Once the enemy step on the pedal, it will trigger the arrow trap to shoot at the enemy. Just remember to load the arrow trap with normal arrows. It does not accept large arrows. Let's go up to see the crossbow tower and discuss its uses in defense. The crossbow tower can be set up as permanent defense, and a tribesperson can be assigned to man it. Once permanent defense is set up, most of the time the tribesperson will man it. The tower need to be loaded with bolts, made of wooden, bronze, iron or steel. The better the bolts, the higher the damage. The range of the crossbow tower can be set up to be 10 meters, 20 meters, 50 meters, and 100 meters. Besides the crossbow tower is the siege ballista. It is constructed at the building workshop. The projectiles are built at the weapon crafting bench. It can launch various projectiles over long distances and is great for damage against buildings. In other words, PvP. The better the projectiles, the higher the damage dealt to buildings. Ballista projectiles can be made of stone, bronze, hire or steel. However, it requires manual operation. Tribespeople cannot be assigned to the siege ballista. Once used, the siege ballista will require materials to repair it. At the end of the video will be a showcase of long-range ballista shooting. In the meanwhile, we will go down the bridge to place the combustion traps. These types of traps are like landmines and cannot be built on foundations or ceilings. As discussed earlier, the anti-climb thorns can be built over fences to cause damage to enemies who are trapped behind gates or run at the sides of the bridge. It can be upgradable to steel in the future. Combustion traps once triggered will cause an area to ignite fire and cause damage to enemies who walk over it. On the other hand, the explosive traps cause area explosion damage. The entire bridge is rigged with arrow traps and iron pegboards and iron anti-climb thorns. Once resources are available, will be upgraded to steel tier traps. The traps need to be placed within the range of bonfire or it will decay. Crossbow towers and roadblocks to keep the elite bear at bay. Let's go find another bear nearby to test the combustion traps. Hope that the bear is not attacking the tribesmen, or he may not trigger the traps. The traps are pretty small too, so we need to place a lot at the choke point. Oh no, the bear is dead and I can't find the small combustion traps. Let's try again. The combustion traps will work this time on the nearby wolves. Combustion traps ignites a small area on fire, and the wolves are too fast to take any damage. Most of the arrow traps are still not loaded with arrows. At least the pegboards are doing some damage. Long-range ballista testing commence now. No trees or animals are damaged or killed in the process. Only the stone projectiles and bronze projectiles will be tested due to resource conservations. First 4 shots are stone projectiles and last 3 shots are bronze projectiles. A few test distances will be tested. It will be fun to shoot down the trees in the future. The first shot has commenced. The loading will be longer compared to crossbow towers. Let's try and see if we can knock down a tree. Next 3 shots will be bronze projectiles. No plant life has been lost in the making of this video. Thank you for watching.